Hello everybody and welcome into the RNGIDP channel. I'm Craig, back with you for another ball game here in game day 14 of the RNL using the 2015 Strat-O-Matic baseball set. Happy to have you here, happy to have you in for another ball game, and looking forward to this one. This one should be a good matchup. We've got two pretty good teams here, one really good team, and San Diego at 7-5, moving up the rankings. San Diego is 6th in the standings, and having put a beat down in the last game day in game day 13 on Philadelphia 9-3. And San Diego is quickly moving up the standings. They're up to 6th now after, I think it was a slow start, but I'd have to go back and look. They were towards the bottom, been towards the middle, but now they're creeping up. They sit at 7-5, and they're only 3 games back of the leaders, Pittsburgh. Meanwhile, Milwaukee comes into this ball game in 3rd place, a game back, tied with Atlanta with a 9-3 record. Milwaukee surprisingly was shut out by Washington 3-0 in yesterday's game day 13. Milwaukee snapped a win streak with that one, but they're looking to right the ship tonight, and it should be a good one. They've got this is towards the end of the rotations for both of the teams tonight, so there could be a lot of runs, but you never know. We've had some surprising pitching duels with some of these back-end starters. So I want to say hello to all the people watching, including Al Red Sox fan, who just finished up another great boxing match. If you haven't gone and watched Al's boxing calls, you got to go do that. You can find him via my Twitter. I like all of his videos, the boxing videos. You can find it that way. Go to his YouTube, Al Red Sox fan, and check those out. Also does baseball, computer games. I'm more of a card and dice game kind of guy, but I can appreciate that a good call when I hear it, and Al does a pretty good job over there. But tonight we have San Diego and Milwaukee, and this should be fun. Anibal Sanchez is the pitcher for Milwaukee, and he will be facing the pitcher Jared Weaver for San Diego. Anibal Sanchez has had a rough go so far this season. He's pitched in 9 2/3 innings. He does have a win, but he's got a loss also. Listen to these stats. He's given up 11 hits in those 9 2/3, and that includes 10 earned runs. Yeah, 10 earned runs in less than 10 innings. And he does have 10 strikeouts, but he also has 4 walks. So that equates to a 9.38 ERA for Sanchez. And he's going up against a pretty decent offense in San Diego. San Diego has scored 30 runs on the season, so that's actually towards the bottom of the KL. But they put up 9 in their last game and look to be rolling here. And we'll get you their lineup here in 1 second. San Diego will line up this way against Anibal Sanchez. Leading off will be Chris Owings, the second baseman. Chris Owings, he's an A stealer on top of the lineup there. He looks to run. And Chris Owings is hitting .250. A quarter of the time he gets a hit. 3 doubles, no triples, no homers. He's got 3 RBIs. He's struck out 11 times, walked 4, and has 3 stolen bases. The only 3 stolen bases on the team, so he's really their only threat. Freddie Galvis is the switch-hitting shortstop, and he'll hit in this 2-hole. Freddie Galvis is struggling, hitting 146 on the year. He does have a homer, but only 1 RBI. Mike Moustakas, the big lefty third baseman, is hitting .222 for the year. 2 doubles, a homer, and 2 driven in. He's walked 5 times. Nelson Cruz is the big righty in the cleanup spot in the right field. And Nelson Cruz is hitting .419. Yeah, .419, just below the leaders, just below the top 3 in the KL. Will he be able to sneak up and into that range? We'll see tonight. .419 for him. He's got 4 homers and 8 RBIs. That leads both categories for the team. Chris Young hits behind him. Chris Young is the center fielder today. Chris Young is hitting .214 with a couple homers, 7 driven in. Wilson Ramos will be doing the catching. And look at that catcher's arm. He's got a -4 arm. So not a whole lot of action on the base paths when he's behind the plate. And Wilson Ramos hasn't contributed very much behind or at the dish. He's hitting 227, 3 doubles, a triple, triple, and a couple of a couple of RBIs. Kelly Johnson is back at his usual spot at first base after getting the day off in game day 13. He is a lefty and hitting 7th. And Kelly Johnson gave him the day off to get his mind right. He's only hitting 139. We'll see if that rest will shake up his bat a little bit. Shane Peterson is the left fielder. Shane Peterson had the day off as well for the same purposes because he's only hitting 161. He's got a triple, and that's about it. 1 RBI for him. And the pitcher will be Jared Weaver. Jared Weaver is a weak-hitting right-handed batter, and he's doing the pitching today. So I think we're all prepped and ready to go. Al Red Sox fan is making some popcorn as he listens. That sounds good to me. Just about almost midnight here in the Mountain Time Zone. Well, I guess it's only 20 after 11. But here in the Mountain Time Zone, getting ready for some hashtag late night strat. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for being here on a late Friday night. If you're watching this after the fact, I'm still happy that you're here too, spending some time watching me. I appreciate you just as much. Make sure, if you like this, to leave a thumbs up. If you don't, that's okay too. Tell me why you don't like it. I'll appreciate the feedback. Go ahead and send those comments here or even on Twitter at RNGIDP_strat. Steve RO is checking in here in the live stream chat. Welcome, Steve. Great fan of the channel and on Twitter. Happy to have him here. Just about to get underway here. The ceremonial first pitch was thrown out. And here we go. Anibal Sanchez pitches to Chris Owings. Chris Owings bounces one to his counterpart at short. That's Escobar. And Escobar, well, I guess Owings is playing second, is he? He bounces it out to short. And there's one down. Freddie Galvis now with one out. And he steps in from the left-hand side. It's a strikeout for Anibal Sanchez against the shortstop, Freddie Galvis. And Anibal Sanchez has struggled. He's got an ERA almost of 10. Will he be able to put up some scoreless innings here? He could be through the first. This is a 1-12 chance for a single, but nope. Mike Moustakas just squeezes that one under the glove of the second baseman, who is Wilmer Flores. And that's a 2-out single for Mike Moustakas. Steve is aware of the standings here. He says Milwaukee needs this one to leapfrog Atlanta, half game behind Pittsburgh, the leaders. You're right. You're right. Anibal Sanchez pitches to Nelson Cruz. A man on here, 2 down. Nelson Cruz, the big bat here. And will he be able to do any damage against Sanchez? And this one could be a double. It's a fly ball out to right field. A 1-5, and it will be a double. No, but the right fielder, that's Tyler Collins out there. He's able to snag it, track it down, and that will be the 3rd out of the inning. So Sanchez works a clean first. You got to wonder how long that can stay the case. But for now, he looks pretty good. He does have a win on the season, so I shouldn't say he's terrible. But that 9.38 ERA, that just stands out. And here we go. Jared Weaver will pitch. Let's get you the lineups here. I always forget to do that in the bottom half. So Jared Weaver is the pitcher for San Diego. And let's look at his stats. 12 1/3 innings. He's got a 1-1 record. 9 hits in those 12 1/3 innings, including 4 earned runs. He does have 12 strikeouts as opposed to 4 walks. That's a 2.93 ERA and just a tick above a 1 whip. So Weaver been somewhat effective for a back-end starter. And here's how Milwaukee will line up against him today. Milwaukee is without Ryan Zimmerman today, who's kind of been an off and on again first baseman. Joey Votto gets most of the starts. And Zimmerman got the start last game, and he got injured. So they're without his bat off the bench today. And they've made a few changes just to just to see what they can get out of the bats. So Starling Marte will be leading off. He's hitting .314. He's got 4 doubles, a couple of homers, and 4 driven in. Also has 4 stolen bases. Will he be able to steal on the -4 arm of Wilson Ramos today? We'll see. Adam Eaton is back in center field today after a day off. Adam Eaton hitting .342. He's got 4 RBIs. Eduardo Escobar is the shortstop. He's just barely below the Mendoza line at 196. 4 doubles and a homer for him. He does have 7 RBIs, though. Joey Votto back at first and batting cleanup today. Joey Votto hitting .462. That's good for second in the KL, only behind DJ LeMahieu of the LA Doduo. He's hitting .500 right now, but Joey Votto is right behind him, right back behind him, and he will hit 4th. Joey Votto also has 4 homers and 10 driven in, which both lead the team. Evan Longoria gets the start at third today for the struggling Josh Donaldson. Donaldson's only hitting .229, only a couple homers. So Longoria gets his first start of the campaign. He's 1 for 5 in his limited duty. And Wilmer Flores is the only carded second baseman on the squad, so he's an everyday starter. He hits 6th. Flores is hitting .191. If they had some other options, they may take him. But he's in the 6th spot. Tyler Collins in right field. As we saw earlier, he's hitting .255. No homers, 5 driven in for him. James McCann is doing the catching. He's .167. So this Milwaukee lineup needs some batters to start hitting. And Anibal Sanchez rounds out the lineup. He's the pitcher, and he's a weak right-handed pitcher using the number 1 card. All right, here we go. The bottom of the first. Jared Weaver will pitch to Starling Marte. Yeah, Steve has given us the updated stats. If you watch the game, we've already played that LA game on the channel, and DJ LeMahieu, he had an 0-fer, which is very surprising for him. So Votto could take the league lead in batting average after tonight. We shall see. This is Jared Weaver to Starling Marte. It's a 6-8, and Marte gets a hold of that one, but it's right at the first baseman. Kelly Johnson sticks his glove up to protect his face, and he found the ball inside of it. And that is the first out of the inning. Just underway here in the bottom of the first. Milwaukee's batting against San Diego in the 2015 set of the RNL. I'm Craig, happy to have you here. Espo is here with us. He's feeling a little better. All right, Espo getting ready for his big day tomorrow with his charity stream, and definitely have to check that out tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to be able to be there live. I've got I haven't started my Christmas shopping yet. I know I'm ashamed, and I'm going to have my boys with me all day, and we got to get some Christmas shopping done tomorrow. We'll see if we can get it done. All right, so this is Adam Eaton now against Jared Weaver, and it's a 6-8. And that's another smoke shot out to Kelly Johnson, and he's got to be wondering what got into Milwaukee. Why do they hate him? Because they've smoked 2 balls right at him. And there's 2 outs though. Kelly Johnson's up to the task. Jared Weaver now to Escobar, who steps in from the left-hand side. It's a 2-6, and Escobar hits this one hard. So Weaver's not fooling anybody, and this one's out to center field, and it's in the gap. And Escobar, with those good wheels, he's going to find himself at second with a 2-out double. And Jared Weaver not missing any bats right now. Everyone's smoking it, and this time it found a hole. And this is a guy you don't want to have hit one. It's up to bat now with a man at second, Joey Votto. So will Joey Votto be able to give Milwaukee the early lead off of Jared Weaver? Well, Joey Votto smashes that one. He smashes it to second. He takes a big hack, but he lines out to Chris Owings. And Joey Votto may be injured here. The trainers are going out to look at him. He swung and he kind of twisted awkwardly on the follow-through. And this would be unfortunate if he's injured because, as I said earlier, Ryan Zimmerman was injured in the last game, and Joey Votto is going to have to come out of the game, and it looks like it's going to be a 4-game injury. Let's see. No, it's going to get reduced, so because he's played 599 games at bats plus walks, that equals higher than 599. So it's going to be a 3-game injury for Joey Votto. So Votto is out, and we got to dig through our bench here just to see if we can find a first baseman. So Joey Votto, the big bat, has to come out of the ball game early here in the first. And let's see our options here on the bench. These injuries do have a big effect on the lead, and I kind of like that, actually. I kind of like how we're having to stretch and play some of these guys that, you know, it's a 30-game season, so I'm not really playing with any rest rules because it's only 28 games in 30 days. How much rest does a guy need? So I like that I'm having to play some of these guys that I normally would just let them rot on the bench. So we do have another first baseman, and he's pretty good as well. So Trevor Plouffe will be the new first baseman. And actually, that's not too bad. I always forget we have him on this team. And he will be the first baseman, taking over for Joey Votto. So we lose a left-handed bat in the middle of that lineup. But that won't be for a little while, as we are through with the first. Jared Weaver, 4 hard hit balls, but only one of them didn't get into an outfielder's glove. And he escapes the 2-out double. And now we move to the top of the second. All right, Anibal Sanchez pitches to Chris Young. Anibal Sanchez, whose ERA probably dropped, probably to around 9.1 after that first inning. And here he is against the righty, Chris Young. And this one's hit out to left field. Left field is Starling Marte, and he is a Starling outfielder. He is a 1-range left fielder, a 1.9. That's going to go to his error rating. He's an E2. So we rolled a 5, an E2 with a 5. That's going to be a nice play made out there. A running, sliding grab made by Starling Marte out in left or right field. Did I say right field? Yeah, right field. Wait a minute. It was right field, wasn't it? Well, since I messed up the die, we'll go ahead and say he made the catch out in right. And Wilson Ramos will be the batter. Yeah. Will Trevor Plouffe, will he Lou Gehrig, will he Lou Gehrig and Wally Pipp Joey Votto? I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see if he can do anything. I'll have to look at his stats and see how many at-bats he's had before. Anibal Sanchez pitches to Wilson Ramos here. This is a grounder out to third, and the third baseman is Longoria with his first try, and he was able to make the play. And Wilson Ramos is the second out of the inning here. It'll be Kelly Johnson, the man who almost lost his head in the first inning with 2 hot shots right at him. And this one is grounded out to the shortstop, Escobar. Escobar makes a nice clean pick, tosses it over to first, and that is the end of the top of the second. And we move to the bottom half. Milwaukee looking to get those bats working. They're a contending team, but they've got a flaw that with the bats just aren't working. They'd like to get somebody rolling other than Votto and Zimmerman, who are both now injured. And Evan Longoria, they're trying to get somebody rolling, and he's off the bench today to try and get it working. And he hits one out to second, which is Chris Owings. Chris Owings is a 3-range second baseman. So a 3-1, well, Evan Longoria has a hit to lead off the inning and to start his night. So it's a leadoff single for Longoria. We already know that Wilson Ramos has a -4 arm. Evan Longoria is a D stealer, so he's not going anywhere. Wilmer Flores is a C hit and runner. He's a 1-11 hitter, or runner, excuse me. So they're just going to let him swing away. A 3-8, and he hits this one high up in the air. And that's a pop-up out to the shortstop. Freddie Galvis camps underneath it, and he makes the play. And there's one down. Longoria only took a few steps off the first base bag, and he's able to trot back over there. And now it will be the lefty Tyler Collins against Weaver. Tyler Collins in right field today. And he grounds this one out to second. That's Owings. Owings to Galvis. Galvis to Johnson. And that is a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. So Weaver gets the double play ball from Tyler Collins. And that ends the second inning. And we're locked up here scoreless as we move to the third. These pitchers, maybe I jinxed that too. I thought it might be a high-scoring game, and there's still time. But so far, they're clean through two. And Anibal Sanchez works to the lefty, Shane Peterson. Shane Peterson is the left fielder today, and he whiffs. That's a strikeout. Second one of the day for Sanchez, and the first out here in the top of the third. And it will be the pitcher batting, Jared Weaver. Jared Weaver hitting it from the right-hand side. And, he gets a hold of this one, throws his bat out there, and just finds the ball. And this will be a double. That was a 17. This will be a double out to center field. So the pitcher aboard with a double. And I think I just ran out of ink again. And I forgot to order cartridges from the last time. I hope I have some. So talk amongst yourselves while I try and find my cartridges. And I have one left. All right. I've got one ink cartridge left. I need to order these. So I'm going to leave that right there. Yeah, Steve says, who needs the DH? That's right. Jared Weaver takes Anibal Sanchez. I guess we could have expected that. If you've got a 9.3 ERA, you're probably giving up a few hits to some batters or to some pitchers. And Jared Weaver is now 1 for 1 with a double. All right, cartridges fixed, and we are ready to roll here. Had to go to the bullpen and bring out the closer for my cartridge. All right, here we go. So a one-out double for Jared Weaver, and Chris Owings is the man at bat. And he will be a 6-7. He grounds this one out to second base, and that is Flores. Wilmer Flores is a shortstop by trade, but on this card, he's got second base rated as well. And he's a 4-range second baseman. A 412, he may have been saved by his E rating. We'll see. Oh, no, we rolled a 2. He's an E4, which is the best you can get at second. But we rolled a 2, and so we need to roll this die. A 1 to 3, and it's an error. And it's a 2, so Wilmer Flores makes a nice diving stop. But as he's getting up to a knee to throw it, he bobbles it. And there will be no play for him. And Owings, with his speed, is aboard at first. Jared Weaver, he is able to advance to third. And now, Anibal Sanchez is in some trouble. And Freddie Galvis. I have seen people use the, I'm talking to Espo here. He needs to send me the link for the advanced pitcher hitting cards. I do need that. I've been just using the regular generic pitcher hitting cards, and they work all right. But yeah, it would be cool to have the individual ones. So Freddie Galvis with a man on first and now third, and looking for the double play ball. Freddie Galvis against Anibal Sanchez, and he's a lefty at this point. And this is a catcher X card, so this could be trouble. Will McCann be able to block this pitch in the dirt? McCann is a 2-range catcher. a 2 range catcher, and it's an 8. And so it's not a, he does block it, and on the next pitch, Freddie Galvis pops out. So a big time pitch there for Sanchez. He's able to get a pop out. Nobody can advance. And a nice play for James McCann behind the plate, blocking what would have been a pass ball there. Mike Moustakas now, the lefty, with 2 down and 2 on. Can he bring him home? It's a 4-7. A 4-7. Mike Moustakas draws a walk with the lefty. Anibal Sanchez gets a little bit cautious and nibbles, and he ends up walking Moustakas, which probably isn't the worst thing. He's got a better matchup against Nelson Cruz here. But Nelson Cruz now has the bases loaded. The bases are loaded for the big cleanup hitter. He flied out to right his last time. And what will he do this time? Oh, no. He gets a hold of this one. Oh, boy. This one's out to left field. Did he get enough? A 1-16, and it's a grand slam. Nelson Cruz puts this one into the seats. And that is a grand slam home run for Nelson Cruz for San Diego. And the visiting San Diego Metapods jump on Milwaukee and take a 4-0 lead off the grand slam by the cleanup hitter Nelson Cruz. And the fan out in left field throws the ball back onto the field. Cruz is still rounding the bases. And 4 RBI for the big man. And that error by Galvis, or excuse me, that error by Flores turns out to be a big one. 4 driven in for Cruz on 1 bat there. And San Diego with a grand slam. And that might be the first grand slam that I've had on stream. Nelson Cruz, you made history there. 2 down here against Anibal Sanchez. And wouldn't you know it, Anibal Sanchez gives up a grand slam. And he's not done yet. This one's a single. Chris Young keeps the party rolling, and that's a single. And that ERA that dropped down just a little bit is now back up. This time it might be back over 10. And Nelson uses his broomstick. It's highly effective. It is highly effective. Super effective, if we're using the Pokemon theme here. Wilson Ramos now with a man on first. 2 down here still. All these runs coming with 2 down. And Wilson Ramos singles. So Young going station to station here. He's not going to test it. Just going to keep the party rolling. And now there's 2 more aboard. And this time Kelly Johnson's up. And James McCann has seen enough. James McCann is going to the mound to talk to Anibal Sanchez. Say, hey, man, we got 2 outs here. All we need is 1 out. Let's get him out of it. Nelson Cruz staring on from the dugout, still getting high fives. The ball boy giving him a high five now. As McCann, he walks back. The umpire breaks up the meeting. And Kelly Johnson now is the batter. It's a 5-6, a 5-6, and the conference worked. Anibal Sanchez is able to get Kelly Johnson swinging for his 3rd strikeout of the day, and that is the 3rd out here in the top of the 3rd. So, boy, Anibal Sanchez gives up a grand slam to Nelson Cruz. Only 3 of those runs were earned, though, as Owings reached on the error. But still, that's going to hurt. And San Diego rising up the standings. Will they be able to gain some more ground? This time on one of the better teams, Milwaukee. There's still quite a few innings to play here, though. And Milwaukee, let's see here. Milwaukee's got the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. So will Jared Weaver be able to hold them down? James McCann pops it up. That's out to short. And Freddie Galvis barely has to move and makes the grab. And now it will be Anibal Sanchez. Are they going to let him hit? Are they going to go to the bullpen early here? Let's look at the bullpen. That's Milwaukee's bullpen here. They do have a pretty good bullpen, but they've been extended pretty. They don't really have a long man out in the bullpen. They could go get Brandon Pinder. They could piece this thing together, but do they want to give up another at bat? Let's see. They've got Melvin Upton, Travis Jankowski, and Josh Donaldson as the available pinch hitters today. Sucre is a pinch hitter, but he's also the backup catcher, so you're not going to use him. With one out, I think Sanchez is going to have to wear this a little bit. Their bullpen, it's good, but they don't really have any guys that can go extended innings. So they're going to go with Sanchez here with one out. Maybe if there was guys on base, they would take the chance. But it's still early enough as Sanchez pops it out to Galvis. It's still early enough where they're feeling like they've got a decent chance to catch up. So Sanchez makes the second out, and he will get another chance back out on the mound. And we head to the leadoff man. That's Starling Marte. And Starling Marte's got a chance at a ballpark single here. A 1-8, and it will be. And that's a 2. So Starling Marte is aboard with 2 outs. Sneaks one through the infield. And now Adam Eaton with a man on first. Sorry, I was looking at the comments there 1 second. Stick with Anibal, says Al Red Sox fan. Yeah, we ended up doing that. I don't know how good I feel about it, but there's not a whole lot we can do, I don't think, at this point. There's still a lot of game left to play. And Adam Eaton from the left-hand side. This is a 6-8. He gets a hold of that one, but it's right at Kelly Johnson again, who's got to be thinking that these guys have something out for him. And that's the 3rd out of the inning. That's twice now that Adam Eaton has just smashed a ball, but right at Adam Eaton, or at Kelly Johnson. And that ends the inning. So we're through to the 3rd of the way through here. San Diego's got a 4-run lead. And Anibal Sanchez has a new lease on life, perhaps. And he pitches to the 8, 9, and 1 batters. That's Peterson, Weaver, the pitcher, and Chris Owings. And this will be Peterson against the righty Sanchez. It's a 1-4, and it could have been something, but nope. He grounds this one out to the second baseman. Flores able to make the play this time. And the crowd gives him a Bronx jeer as Shane Peterson grounds out to Flores. And now it's Jared Weaver, who doubled his last time up. And this one's out to the shortstop. That's Escobar. Escobar is a 3-range shortstop. A 3-7. He makes a nice play from the outfield grass. A strong throw. And plenty of time to get the running pitcher, Jared Weaver. So 2 quick down. And Sanchez has got to be feeling a little bit better about himself. But it's not over till the inning's over, as we saw the last time. And Chris Owings now against the righty. And Chris Owings looks at that one on the corner, and it's a strikeout. 4 strikeouts now for Sanchez. And maybe that was the right decision to leave Sanchez in, because he gets a 1-2-3 inning, and he's back on track here. That will end the top of the 4th. A quick one. And Jared Weaver now back on the mound for San Diego, as they have a 4-run lead here going into the bottom of the 4th. Eduardo Escobar and then Trevor Plouffe will get his first at-bat of the day, and Evan Longoria. But first it will be Escobar, the switch-hitting shortstop. It's a 4-12, and Escobar is aboard with a walk. So Escobar, who doubled his first time up, draws a walk. And maybe this will be just what Milwaukee needs to get the bats rolling. It's a guy on base. Escobar is a D stealer, so he's not going to test the -4 arm of Ramos. Trevor Plouffe now taking over for the injured first baseman, Joey Votto. And this one is a ballpark single chance, a 1-8, and it will sneak past. It will not. That will be hit too hard right at Galvis. And that is a first out of the inning. So Plouffe excited to be up there. First pitch swinging. Hits it hard, but right at Galvis. And now there's one out. Evan Longoria, the man at bat. He singled his last time up. And this one will be out to short. Galvis is the man out there. He tosses it to Owings for 1. Owings out to Johnson for 2. And that is a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning for Evan Longoria. So Weaver has got his second double play, inning double play. And he's scoreless now through 4. And those Milwaukee batters just can't find the range here. And that may be their downfall if they fall down the standings even more, because they can't score. Anibal Sanchez now in the 5th inning against Freddie Galvis, the man who made 2 nice defensive plays the last half inning. And he steps in from the left-hand side, and he hits this one out to center. The center fielder, Adam Eaton, is quick. Will he be able to make a play? And he does. He makes a nice running grab to rob Freddie Galvis of a double. So one out here. Mike Moustakas, the lefty. He's walked and singled, scored a run on the grand slam by Nelson Cruz. This is a 6-10. A 6-10. Oh, that could have been something big, but this one's out to center. Will Eaton be able to chase this one down? Adam Eaton is a 4-range center fielder. So let's see, a 4-10. That's going to his error rating. He's an E6. We roll a 7. So Adam Eaton dives and stretches for it and just is able to make the snag. A nice highlight reel type catch for Adam Eaton out there in center. And there are 2 away. Two balls hit to Eaton and 2 outs here. The center fielder making Tom Emanski proud out there. And Anibal Sanchez gives him a nice little hat tip. And if I could hold on to that die, we'd get the pitch to Nelson Cruz. We all know Nelson Cruz hit a grand slam his last time up. And what will he do this time? He hits one out to Adam Eaton. And Adam Eaton has an easier play this time. Barely has to move. And all 3 balls hit to Adam Eaton. And that's 2 straight 1, 2, 3 innings for Sanchez. And he's through 5. Did you expect that? Steve says we need to fire the Brayloom hitting coach. I think you're right. Maybe after this game, somebody might be getting a call to the manager's office. Wilmer Flores, the second baseman against Jared Weaver. It's a 5-8. A 5-8 is a grounder out to second base. That's Owings. Owings, I think we looked and he was a 4, but let me double check. Nope, he's a 3. So he's a 3, a 6, and he's going to make a nice play. Drops to a knee after scooping that one up. And it's a 4-3 put out. Tyler Collins grounded out into a big inning double play his last time up. The lefty batting against the righty pitcher. And this will be a 6-12. This one's out to right field. And I dropped my die here. This one's out to right. That is Nelson Cruz. Can he do it with a glove, as we saw him do it with the bat? He's a 4-ranged left or right fielder. A 4-6. Oh, he can't quite get there. It sneaks past him and runs all the way to the wall. Tyler Collins is going to make it to second on a double. It's not an error, but maybe it should have been on Cruz. And Tyler Collins is on second with a 1-out double. Will this be the spark they need? I say that every time they get a guy on base, and it doesn't happen. But here's the catcher, James McCann. It's a 3-4. A 3-4. This one's hit out to Galvis. He looks back Collins back to second and throws it over to first with plenty of time to get the slow-running catcher, McCann. And now with the man at second and 2 outs, they are going to go get Sanchez, who, you know, he didn't pitch terribly. 5 innings, only gave up 3 earned runs. He's retired. What is that? 3, 6, 7 straight batters. Maybe they should leave him in, but with a man on second, they're going to try and pull a run here. And it will be Melvin Upton Jr. Melvin Upton Jr. looking to drive home the run from second. Steve's got to check out here for a minute. That's all right, Steve. I'm happy that you were here. You're a big-time fan of the channel, and I appreciate you. Come back when you can, or check it out after the fact. It'll be up on the YouTube channel. And we will wait as Melvin Upton Jr. gets a bat in his hands to pinch hit for Anibal Sanchez. And will he be able to drive the run home? Melvin Upton Jr., he's 7 for 19 on the season. No homers yet. He does have a couple of RBI. And here he goes. This is a 5-3. This one's hit out to left field. That's Shane Peterson. And we rolled a 1, so that is going to be a tough chance. Will Shane Peterson be able to make a play? He's a three-ranged left fielder. And this one is down the line. Shane Peterson can't get to it. And that will be a double. And so Melvin Upton Jr. with a pinch hit double. And Tyler Collins is able to come around from second. And that will be a run. So Milwaukee has broken the seal here. And maybe the dam is broken. We'll see. Melvin Upton with an RBI double here in the bottom of the 5th to give Milwaukee a run. And now they're only down 4-1. Starling Marte, can he keep the rally going with a man at second? And this one has a chance to be a ballpark single. It's hit over to the shortstop. A 1-8. It will be a hit, and hit too hard. The shortstop able to make a diving play, and he lines out to short for the 3rd inning. But Milwaukee, they scratch out a run off the pinch hit double, and they get 1 run closer. Anibal Sanchez made way for the pinch hitter. It worked somewhat, but now they've got to find a way to piecemeal this thing together through the next 4 innings. And it will be Brandon Pinder, the man called on to come out first. He will face the 5, 6, 7 batters. That is Chris Young, Wilson Ramos, and Kelly Johnson. So Brandon Pinder, we'll get his numbers here in a second. And I'm proud of Anibal Sanchez. He went 5 innings. He gave up 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of those earned. He had 4 strikeouts, and he walked only 1 batter. So not a terrible outing. That's, from your 4th in the rotation guy, there's not a whole lot more you could ask for. He gave up 1 homer, and that was a big shot to Nelson Cruz, but that came after an error that probably would have gotten him out of the inning. And so Anibal Sanchez did some good work today. Brandon Pinder now will face Chris Young. And let's get his numbers quickly before I look at the die roll. Brandon Pinder from Milwaukee. He has worked in 3 innings. That is all. He's given up 6 hits in those 3 innings and 4 earned runs. He's got a strikeout, but he's got a walk as well. And this is a 6-2 to Chris Young. And so the first man that Brandon Pinder sees, he walks him. Anibal Sanchez kind of kept me in the game. That's true. I mean, he battled. That's what all I can say is he battled. And that's all you need. And now Wilson Ramos has a man at first against the reliever, Brandon Pinder. And this one's hit out to second. Will they be able to turn 2 here? It's going to have to be a good play. And that will be Flores. Can Flores make up for it here? He's a 4-range second baseman. A 420. He's able to make the scoop. But will he be able to make the turn? It's a B, ground ball B. And he kind of has a problem with it. And so he can't get the man at second. His only play is going to be at first. And that's going to be the catcher, Ramos. And so, actually, you know what? I did that safe, didn't I? He bobbles it and he throws it to second to get Young for the first out. But he took too long, and Wilson Ramos is aboard. Beats it out. So that was a fielder's choice. I read that card wrong. And Ramos is aboard now instead of Young. And Kelly Johnson with a man on first and 1 out. And here he goes. This is a 6-8. And Kelly Johnson, he might have gotten one against Brandon Pinder here. He gets it. It's a double out to center. And will Ramos be able to score? There's no stars on that result. So Ramos could be on the move. Let's see if he picks up his third base coach and if he'll get he'll get waved home. It's a 1-9. The outfielder is the center fielder, who's Adam Eaton. He's a 0 arm. Was he being held? No, he wasn't being held, so it makes it a 1-10. There's only 1 out, so it's a 1-10 chance. And Wilson Ramos, that train is rolling. There's no stopping it now. It's a 1-10 that he scores, and it's a 12, so Adam Eaton grabs it and makes a fine throw home and gets Wilson Ramos. And Ramos probably shouldn't have been running, but you can't stop the train when it's moving. And that's the second out of the inning. The center fielder, Adam Eaton, who's made some nice plays out there in center, makes another one with the arm this time and catches the slow-running Wilson Ramos, the catcher, trying to score from first on a double. And Brandon Pinder now faces Shane Peterson. Kelly Johnson out there at second, thinking he had an RBI. But no, Adam Eaton had other ideas, and Shane Peterson is able to draw a walk. So Brandon Pinder walks the 2 lefties in the lineup, and now he faces Jared Weaver, the pitcher. And will they let Weaver hit for himself? Let's take a look at the bench. Jose Ramirez, Aramis Ramirez, Evan Gattis, Michael Mahenry, and Avisail Garcia. And they're going to let Jared Weaver hit for himself. He's already hit a double today. And so they're going to let him hit. With 1 out, they're going to let him swing away. It's a 5-5, and no damage done. He strikes out here. Wait a minute. Wait, hold on one sec. What is his pitcher inning of weakness? It's a 1. And he's walked 2, and he's given up a hit. So Brandon Pinder is a weak. He has reached his point of weakness. And so that will be a single. And just like that. So is that a single 1-star or 2-star? I can never remember that off of those weakness checks. I got to look at my... If you guys know it offhand, please feel free. Off the weakness check, is it a single 1-star? Is it a single 2-star? Let me check 1 second. You would think I would know these rules by now, after all the years I've been doing this and all these games I've played. But let me check. Single 2-star. So Jared Weaver singles, and that's going to drive home Kelly Johnson from second. And Shane Peterson moves to third. And Jared Weaver helps himself again. And that might just chase the pitcher Brandon Pinder, as Jared Weaver gets an RBI off a single that should have been a strikeout. But Pinder was laboring through this inning. Only 1 out. Or 2 outs now. Only 2 outs. And Jared Weaver keeps it going with a single. And now we move to the top of the inning. And really, I don't want to have to... The manager doesn't want to have to get Pinder, but I think they're going to have to. I think they're going to have to go get him. And it will be Joakim Soria taking over. Joakim Soria will take over for Brandon Pinder. And you can't make it out of a full inning. So the righty Soria will take over. Brandon Pinder goes 2/3 of an inning and gives up 2 hits. My pen is being dumb here. 2 hits. We don't know about the runs yet. He struck out nobody, and he walked 2 batters. So Joakim Soria comes in to face the top of the order. That's Chris Owings. Chris Owings is 0 for 3 today with a strikeout, and this one's hit back to the pitcher. He's a 3-range pitcher, and a 3-4 is going to his E rating. He's an E0, so Joakim Soria is able to snag it and toss it over to first, and that will end the inning. So Pinder couldn't make it out of the inning. Soria comes in and cleans it up, but not before San Diego plates home another run, answering the run that was scored by Milwaukee, and it's a 5-1 ball game. Going to the bottom of the 6th here. Joakim Soria back to the bench. Jared Weaver, who drove in a run, he's 2 for 3 today. 2 for 3 off of 2 different pitchers. And now the man who's been stellar out in the outfield, Adam Eaton, 2 hot shots to the head of Kelly Johnson out at first. Will he be able to miss the glove this time against Jared Weaver? And he does. This one could be a lot more than that. A 1-2. I messed up the camera there. A 1-13, and it'll be a homer. And Adam Eaton straightens this one out, gets a little loft on it, and leads off the 6th with a homer against Jared Weaver. So they get that run right back off a homer from Adam Eaton. And Jared Weaver's pitcher inning of weakness is the 6th, so it could go awry here for him. He's going to have a short leash. You know your pitcher is in trouble when your pitcher is 2 for 3. This is true. But Jared Weaver bounces back after the homer, and he gets Eduardo Escobar to strike out. And that, I believe, is the first strikeout for Jared Weaver on the day. I'm looking, and that's the first strikeout of any batter for Jared Weaver. A lot of balls in play, a lot of ground outs, a lot of line outs, really. A lot of balls hit hard, just right at guys. And Trevor Plouffe did that earlier. He hit one right to the shortstop. And this is his second at bat for the injured Joey Votto. And he hits this one out to right field, out to right field, and Nelson Cruz is out there this time, and he's able to make the play. And there's 2 down. Evan Longoria has singled and then grounded out into a big double play, inning double play in the 4th, a rally killer. And here he is against Weaver. And he's not going to ground into a double play this time. There's nobody on base, first of all, but he hits this one well, and it's out to center, and that is a double for Evan Longoria. And so he keeps this inning going with a 2-out double. And the batter will be Wilmer Flores. And it seems like any time in this game there's something integral happening. It's been with Wilmer Flores around the plate or making a play out in the outfield. He's 0 for 2 today. And this is his chance right here. And that's a single. It's only a 1-star single. The center fielder, Chris Young, read it quickly and charged it. And Longoria is not going to be able to score. But now there's a man on first and third with 2 down. And the lefty Tyler Collins, who scored the only run for Milwaukee so far. And Jared Weaver has reached his pitcher inning of weakness. Will they go get him? They're going to let him try and get out of the 6th here. They're going to let him get out of the 6th, pitch to another batter. And it is Tyler Collins. Tyler Collins, this one's hit out to second. Will Owings be able to make a play? No, he can't. It gets past him, and that's a single 1-star. And so Longoria will score from third. Flores moves to second. Had to freeze a little bit to see if Owings was going to make the play. So he's at second. And the run will score. And it's a 5-3 ball game. So Milwaukee is starting to creep up here. Jared Weaver, they were trying to let him get out of the inning. But now with the tying run on first and the catcher James McCann at the plate, they're going to have to go get him. And let's take a look at the bullpen. Carter Capps has been the guy that we've called on. Jason Grilly as well. And I think they're going to go get Carter Capps from the bullpen. And let's see here. Carter Capps will take over for Jared Weaver, who just didn't have much left in the tank. They tried to let him get a chance to get out of it, but it just wasn't happening. And so Carter Capps will take over here with 2 down in the bottom of the 6th. The reliever, Carter Capps, will take over. Jared Weaver goes 5 2/3. He gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits. And how many runs? He's got some runs still out there. He struck out 1 batter. How many did he walk? 1? He only walked 1 as well. So not wasting inning pitches. And now Carter Capps will be the man to face James McCann. 2 men on, 2 out. James McCann, the batter, against the righty Carter Capps. And James McCann looks at a pitch on the corner, and that's called for strike 3. And that's the 3rd out here in the bottom of the 6th. McCann didn't like the call. Doesn't think that his guy was getting those pitches. And that will be it here. But Milwaukee scratches a few more across, and they are now within, what is it? It's a 5-3 ball game. They're now within 2. And Joakim Soria, who pitched and finished out the top of the 6th, will be the man here in the top of the 7th. Joakim Soria. Joakim Soria against Freddie Galvis. He's hitting from the left-hand side, and he hits this one out to center. And we know that's Adam Eaton out there. Adam Eaton is a 4-range center fielder. A 4-13 is going to be a single. So it falls right in front of Adam Eaton, which is tough to do. Eaton didn't get a good read on it this time. And Freddie Galvis is aboard with a single. He's a B stealer. McCann is a -2 arm, so that'd be a 1-8, so he's not going anywhere. Moustakas now. Moustakas, the lefty. It's a 4-3, a 4-3. This one's hit out to center. Adam Eaton gets a better run on it this time. And he makes the play, and there's one down. Nelson Cruz had the big shot in the third inning, a grand slam. Other than that, he's flied out to right and flied to center. But the big shot he did have, and here he is against the reliever, Joakim Soria. And this one's out to left field. The left fielder is Starlin Marte. Starling Marte is a one-range left fielder. A 1-4 is going to be a nice play by him. So now there's 2 down, and Nelson Cruz is flied out to around the horn in the outfield. Once to left, once to center, and once to right. And it will be up to Chris Young after the leadoff single from Freddie Galvis for Joakim Soria. And Chris Young is going to strike out. So Soria battles back and strikes out Chris Young to end the inning and the top half of the inning. And we move to the stretch here in Milwaukee. It's a 5-3 ball game. Feel free to sing at home. Grab your peanuts and Cracker Jacks. And we will move to the bottom of the 7th. It's not going to be Melvin Upton Jr. It's going to be a pinch hitter, which will be it will be Travis Jankowski. Travis Jankowski looking to just get on board. Don't want to use Josh Donaldson yet. It's not a high leverage situation yet. And Travis Jankowski will be announced as the pinch hitter. So Jankowski against Carter Capps, who comes back out for his second inning here. Well, I guess really not his second inning. He got one man. He got the catcher James McCann to strike out. And he will work here. And this is a 2-3. A 2-3 is a fly ball out to left. It could have been a single, but the left fielder Peterson got a nice read on it. And there's one out here in the bottom of the 7th. Starling Marte leads off, and he will be hitting second here against Carter Capps. And this is a 4-10, and this is a ballpark single chance, a 1-8, and it is. So that's twice that he's able to sneak one past the shortstop. And now Starling Marte is aboard. And the tying run in Adam Eaton, who hit a home run last time. And they are not going to let Carter Capps pitch to Adam Eaton. They're going to go to the lefty. They're going to go to the lefty, who is... where is he? San Diego. I was looking at the wrong people. San Diego has one lefty, two lefties in their bullpen. And they're going to go get Nick Hagedorn. I'm probably pronouncing that incorrectly. Nick Hagedorn or Hagedorn? Well, whatever he is, he's a lefty. And he will be facing the guy that just hit a home run in the last time he was up, Adam Eaton. Nick Hagedorn. Carter Capps, he went 2/3 of an inning. He didn't give up. Oh, he gave up one hit. One strikeout and no walks. The book is closed on Weaver. He gave up 3 runs. All of those were earned. And Nick Hagedorn will face the lefty here, Adam Eaton. It's a 3, a 3-6, and that's going to be a single. So they brought the lefty in to try and get Eaton, and it doesn't work. And Starling Marte is a 1-16 runner. Will he try and get to third with one out here? He was being held. He's an ace stealer. So it's a 1-15. The outfielder is the left fielder, who's Peterson. Peterson's a 0. It's a 1-15 chance that he's going to make it, and he's going to go for it. And it's a 17, so Shane Peterson. Oh no, Shane Peterson is able to cut down Starling Marte, trying to advance to third on a single. And Shane Peterson cuts him down from left field. Oh no, what a base running, Tootbland you should say, a base running mistake. A 1-15 chance, and he gets thrown out. And Adam Eaton now, the only man on base, with 2 down now. And Nick Hagedorn faces Eduardo Escobar. And this is a 3-6, and Escobar strikes out. So what could have been something just does not work out. And that is the 3rd out there. And the 7th inning goes by. Joakim Soria was pinch hit for, so he put in his work. And now they will move to the lefty. Enny Romero comes out against Wilson Ramos, the righty, and then 2 lefties expected. And Enny Romero will be the new pitcher, taking over for Joakim Soria here in the 8th. Soria goes 1 1/3. That book is closed on Pinder. He gave up a run. Soria, he only gave up 1 hit. No runs of his own. He struck out 1. And did he walk a man? No, he didn't. So Enny Romero takes over, and he will face Ramos, Johnson, and Peterson. And against the lefty, Ramos with a single here to start the 8th. A leadoff single for the righty Wilson Ramos, who's 2 for 4 today. He's improving his batting average. And Kelly Johnson against the lefty. It's a 1-10. A 1-10, and he strikes out. So that's what they went and got Romero in the ballgame to do, was to take care of these lefties. And Shane Peterson now, the lefty in left field, makes his way. And will they go get Shane Peterson? No. Evan Gattis is on the bench, but he would have to play left field, and he's a 5-range left fielder. So they're going to stick with the defense for now, even to give up some of that offense. And giving up some of that offense is what they do, because Shane Peterson strikes out against the lefty. And now, with the pitcher spot up, they are going to pinch hit. And it will be Evan Gattis with 2 outs, looking for a big fly here, and Evan Gattis will be the man to pinch hit. Will they leave the lefty in to face him? They are. Enny Romero will pitch to the righty, Evan Gattis, and he walks him. So he didn't really want anything to do with Gattis. That big beard and his funky stance at the plate kind of made him nervous. And so Gattis draws a walk in a pinch hit appearance. And it will be Chris Owings here with 2 down. 2 men on, 2 down. And the lefty throws and delivers to Chris Owings. And it's a 2-6. And Chris Owings strikes out for the 2nd time today. And Enny Romero strikes out the side. Here in the top of the 8th. No damage done. And no runs scored. So Andy Romero works a clean 8th. Nick Hagedorn is done here, as he was pinch hit for. And they will go to the bottom of the 8th, which they will go to their setup man. And that is Javi Lopez. So playing dangerously with the 4, 5, 6 batters to bring out a lefty. But he is their setup man. So they're going to go for it. It just worked out that way. Hagedorn, he went 2/3 of an inning. He didn't give up a run. And neither did Caps. Hagedorn struck out a batter, didn't walk anybody. He did give up a hit, but no runs. And Javi Lopez takes over. He will face Plouffe, Longoria, and Wilmer Flores. So Plouffe, the first baseman, this is a 5'11". A 5'11", he hits this one out to third. Moustakas, he grounds and picks it up off the ground and tosses it over to first. And there's one down here. Evan Longoria, he's 2 for 3 today in his one start of the season. And this one is a 3-3, and Longoria ends up walking here. So a walk. It was 1 out here. And it will be Wilmer Flores. Wilmer Flores against the lefty. It's a 1-6, and Wilmer Flores just smashes this ball to center, shocking everybody. He gets a hold of it, and that one is gone. Wilmer Flores, what are you doing? Just smashes that ball out to center, and it keeps going and going. And even the center fielder can't believe it that it's gone. But that one was way gone. And that will plate Longoria from first. And guess what, folks? It's a tie ball game. Wilmer Flores giveth and he taketh away from Javi Lopez here in the bottom of the 8th in Milwaukee with the big fly from Wilmer Flores. Have tied the ball game. Now Tyler Collins waiting for the curtain call from Flores. So they gave him a Bronx cheer earlier, and now they give him a curtain call. And Tyler Flores grounds out to first as Kelly Johnson able to scoop that one and step on the bag himself. And now there's 2 downs. We've got a new ball game. That one's breathed a little bit of life here in the bottom of the 8th. And James McCann now. Even I didn't see that one coming. And James McCann hits this one to the shortstop. That's Freddie Galvis. Galvis has been busy today, and he's a 2-range shortstop, a 219. He's going to make a nice play. He's got plenty of time to throw out McCann. But the big fly was had, and we are tied up here going into the 8th. Javi Lopez, the setup man. I kind of foreshadowed it by saying lefty. He was a lefty, and the righty Wilmer Flores got him. And now we've got a tie ball game here going into the 9th. And who will take over pitching for Milwaukee? It will be Kevin Jepsen. Kevin Jepsen comes out of the bullpen. Normally a 7th, 8th inning man when they've got a lead. He's a plus side guy. But he will be called upon to get the 2, 3, 4 batters here. Galvis, Moustakas, and Cruz. And Kelvin Jepsen comes on. So the bullpen has been doing their part, keeping them close. And Romero goes an inning. And let's see here. He gave up 1 hit, no runs. He struck out 3. He did walk a batter. And now Kelvin Jepsen to face Freddie Galvis. I want to see Kelvin Jepsen's numbers real quick before we get going here. Jepsen has pitched in 7 innings. He's got a save, 4 hits in those 7 innings, only 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts to 1 walk. So we've got a new ball game here. It's a 1-inning ball game basically. And the lefty Galvis steps in and he leads off with a single. So Galvis leads off here with a single. And Mike Moustakas. And sorry, we had a little blip there. But we are back. We had a little blip with our connection. We are here in the 9th of the 14th game day. This is the 5th game. San Diego against Milwaukee. Milwaukee had a big 2-run shot to tie it up here in the bottom of the 8th against San Diego's setup man, Javi Lopez. And it's a brand new ball game here. San Diego looking to gain some ground in the standings. They're 6th right now. Milwaukee is 3rd. And Nelson Cruz, who hit a big grand slam in the 3rd inning, will face Kelvin Jepsen with 2 outs now as Mike Moustakas just grounded into a double play. So you're up to speed now. And Nelson Cruz hits this one to left field. Can the left fielder, Marte, make the play? And he can. So Nelson Cruz is 1 for 5 now. And San Diego doesn't score here in the 9th. And does Milwaukee have some magic in the bottom of the 9th to be able to pull this one out? Will they be able to walk it off? It will be a pinch hitter. And then back to the top of the order with Marte and Eaton. And it won't be Javi Lopez. It will be... who is going to come out of the bullpen? Let's take a look together here. Let's take a look together to see who we can bring out of the bullpen. Will it be Jason Grilli, Al Albuquerque, Evan Scribner, or do we get the closer, Yuris Familia? I think we're going to get Jason Grilli a chance. Jason Grilli will be the new pitcher, taking over for the scapegoat here, Javi Lopez, and the righty Jason Grilli will be the new pitcher. Lopez, he goes an inning. He gave up only 1 hit, 2 runs. He didn't strike out anybody. But that walk, that 1 walk, proved to be costly on the 2-run shot by Wilmer Flores. So Jason Grilli will face the pinch hitter. And now it is time for the big bat of Josh Donaldson. If there's any time for him to get hot, it is right now. And Josh Donaldson will pinch hit here. So Donaldson to face Jason Grilli. And it's a 4-11. And he hits this one hard, but out to left field. And the left fielder Peterson is under it. And he makes the grab. And we move to the top of the order. And that's Starling Marte, who's 2 for 4 today. And he almost scored a run, but he was, well, he almost advanced to third, but he was caught by Shane Peterson from left field. And here he is against Jason Grilli. And he flies this one out to Peterson, wouldn't you know it? And Peterson makes the play, and there's 2 down. So Grilli working fast here. And now he faces Adam Eaton, who has homered today. It's 2 for 4. He's hit 4 scorchers. 1 of them went over the wall. 2 were caught by the first baseman Johnson, and he singled. And here he is. This is a 110. This is a chance to sneak through over to the second baseman. And no, Wilmer Flores makes a dive and a grab. And Wilmer Flores has saved this game again. Actually, that is not Wilmer Flores. I was thinking of Milwaukee. That is Chris Owings at second. Excuse me. Chris Owings makes the play. And we're going to extras. It's an extra inning ball game here on the RNGIDP channel. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. I'm going to post all these scorecards so you can get a better look over there. And I hope you enjoy it. Follow me on Twitter. Give me a like if you like it. It's been a fun game so far. Lots of weirdness happened, but that's okay. And here we are in the top of the 10th. And Kelvin Jepson was pinch hit for, and so it will be Brian Shaw coming out of the bullpen. Brian Shaw, the newly acquired Colorado Rocky, so I'm excited to see his card here. Kelvin Jepson goes an inning. He gave up a hit, no runs, didn't strike out a batter, and didn't walk anybody. And Brian Shaw will face Young, Ramos, and Kelly Johnson. And let's see here. Let's make this mark so we know that Shaw came in. And Shaw against Young. It's a grounder to short. And Escobar scoops it and fires. And there's one down. We've got some free baseball, as Al, Red Sox fan, says. It's getting late out there on the East Coast, Al. Thanks for staying up with me. Appreciate you. And Wilson Ramos now. Wilson Ramos has got his third hit of the day, 3 singles. And this one is out to right field. And now you got the two lefties, Johnson and Peterson. And let's take a look at the bullpen. They do have Bastardo in the bullpen that they could go get, but they're not going to do that. They're going to save that one for maybe Moustakas. And so Shaw will face Kelly Johnson here. And Johnson hits one hard, but out to left field. And that is Marte out there. He's pretty good out in the outfield. And he's able to make the grab. And now Shane Peterson. Shane Peterson is 0 for 3 today. He does have a walk, but 0 for 3. And it will be 0 for 4. He hits this one to the shortstop, Escobar. Escobar gets it in his glove, and he fires it over to first. And that's the end of the 10th, the top of the 10th. Nothing doing for the last 4 innings for San Diego. They've only scored 1 run in their last 7 innings. If it wasn't for that grand slam, they hadn't scored in only 2 innings. And so Jason Grilli, he will come back out for his 2nd inning of work here. And Jason Grilli will face Escobar, Plouffe, and Longoria. So this is Escobar, the lefty, against the righty pitcher. And it's a 3-5. And so Escobar, in his last 3 plate appearances, has struck out. And that's the first strikeout for Jason Grilli. And now Trevor Plouffe is the man. Can he come up big here for the injured Joey Votto? Not this time. He strikes out. So Grilli on fire here, striking out the first 2 batters here in the bottom of the 10th. And it's up to Evan Longoria. Longoria has 2 hits and a walk. And here he is facing Grilli. And he strikes out. So Jason Grilli strikes out the side, making quick work of the 3, 4, 5 batters. Impressive for Jason Grilli. And the 10th comes and goes pretty quickly. We move to the 11th. And Brian Shaw will be sent out for his second inning of work. He will face a pinch hitter and the 1 and 2 batters of Owings and Galvis. And the pinch hitter will be Aramis Ramirez. I was going to do Jose Ramirez, but in the case that this thing gets really extended, Jose Ramirez can play many, many positions. Oops. So the pinch hitter will be Aramis Ramirez. And he will face Brian Shaw here in his second inning of work. And it's a 1-11. And that one's a grounder out to first base. Plouffe able to scoop it and make the play to the first baseman. Well, the pitcher covering first base, that's Brian Shaw. And we move to the top of the order. This is the 6th at-bat for San Diego here. And Chris Owings hits one out to short. Escobar makes the play. Escobar's been busy here recently. He brought his good glove. And now there's 2 down. 2 down for Freddie Galvis. And Freddie Galvis hits one to, you would know it, Eduardo Escobar. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Brian Shaw. In the top of the 11th here. So the bullpen has pitched 5 straight scoreless. And now it can't be Jason Grilly. He was pinch hit for. It will be Evan Scribner. So the whole reason we didn't go to the bullpen earlier was we didn't want to get these guys extended, but now we kind of have to. And Evan Scribner will be the new pitcher. Jason Grilly was feeling it. He struck out the side his last inning up there. But Evan Scribner will take over. Grilly went 2 innings. Didn't give up a hit. He struck out 3 and didn't walk anybody. I'd say that's pretty effective for the reliever. And now Evan Scribner will face Flores, who homered in the bottom of the 8th to tie this thing up, and Tyler Collins and James McCann. And Wilmer Flores leads off the bottom of the 11th with a single. So Wilmer Flores now has 3 hits in his last 3 at-bats. And it will be Tyler Collins. Tyler Collins, the lefty. Will he be asked to bunt here? He will not. They're going to play it dangerously. And it's going to work out because Tyler Collins gets a hold of that one. How far will it fly? It's out to center. A 1-3. It's a homer. Or 1-4. It's a homer. And it is a 3. So bye-bye baseball. And Tyler Collins sends Milwaukee home with a walk-off homer. And the crowd goes wild, and the comeback is complete for Milwaukee. Tyler Collins and Wilmer Flores are the heroes here in the bottom of the 11th. And adios, pelota. This one is gone. A 2-run shot for Collins, and that will end the ball game. Evan Scribner can't even get an out. He gave up 2 runs and a 2-run shot. What an end. And Milwaukee, that's not how you drew it up for them. But they finally found some bats to start hitting. And it's at the bottom of the order with Wilmer Flores and Tyler Collins, both of them having 3 hits on the day. And they end up pulling this one out in 11. And what a performance. Milwaukee wins it And what is that? That is 3, 6, 7 runs to 5. The winning pitcher will be Brian Shaw. And Brian Shaw went 2 innings. He gave up 1 hit, no runs for him. You got to think the bullpen was the MVP. And James Shepard checks in, says, great game. I was only catch the bottom of the 11th. He's up late. Maybe, James, you brought good luck to Milwaukee. You are a shepherd. and the Brayloom. The Brayloom, pull it out here. Brian Shaw, did he strike out anybody? No. And did he walk anybody? No. But he gets the win. Evan Scribner will get the loss. Let's see here. I'm going to have to check and see their records. And Evan Scribner. I'm going to fill all the rest of this out offline, because I want to take the rest of this time just to say thank you, especially to Al, Red Sox fan, who stuck with me here this whole time. I know it was a long one. These extra inning games tend to be long, an hour and a half now. But Al was here the whole time and cheering us on. It's late up here for him, too. I want to say thank you to everybody that stuck with me here. James checking in late. Espo was here earlier. No, he's not been feeling well either, so I appreciate him being here. Steve R.O. had to check out earlier, but I'm sure he'll catch up and watch the rest of this game. And I want to say thank you to him. Make sure you're following me on Twitter over at RNGIDP_Strat. I'm going to post this scorecard over there, and so you can check out all the ugliness that happened in here. But that'll be doing it for me tonight. Milwaukee overcomes the loss of Joey Votto in the first inning, and they overcome a 4-0 deficit by clawing back in the 5th, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 2 in the 8th, and then 2 in the 11th here to take a 7-5 victory. They moved to 10-3, and with the result already happening in Pittsburgh, I'll catch you up on all the standings at the end of the game day, but they could be in a tie for first as they move to 10-3. San Diego moves to 7-6. They become even more mediocre, and they'll drop back to a slew of guys with 6 losses and even more with 7 chasing them. San Diego's got a good team. As we saw here, they just couldn't finish it out. The bats went cold after the 6th. They had 1 big homer from Nelson Cruz, and that's all. But that's all for me here on the RNGIDP channel. I'm Craig. Once again, thank you for watching, and have a good night. I'm going to post this